To recap, one, our hypothesis studies. All right, let's recap. What are the 5 steps in a one hypothesis testing?
Okay. The first step, state the null hypothesis and the alternate hypothesis.
So state the null
And alternate.
and alternate hypothesis.
Okay. 2 is select the level of significance.
Select the level of significance.
3, select the test statistic.
Select the test statistic.
Formulate the decision rule.
Formulate the decision.
Make a decision.
5th step, make a decision.
And interpret the result.
Interpret the results. Okay, so chapter 10, problem 10 states giving the following hypothesis. And we are giving go right over here. What is our null hypothesis in this problem?
Let's see.
That the population mean is equal to
400.
400. Now remember, the alternate hypothesis is always going to be, how would you explain it?
Opposite of that.
Opposite. Well, let's think if the null hypothesis is untrue or proven to be not true, then the alternate hypothesis must be true.
Yes.
So if the population mean is equal to 400, then this is going to be that it is, alternate hypothesis would be that it is not equal to 400. And it says a random sample, 12 observations, is selected from a normal population. The sample mean was 407. So we're given, we select from 12, and the sample mean is 407. And the sample standard deviation is 6. Standard deviation is 6. And we're said to use the 0.01 significance level. All right, so we've done this and we've done this. So here's step 1. Step 2 is given to us. It's 0.01. Step 3, state the decision rule. All right, before we get to that, so that's our 4th step. Before we get to stating our decision rule, what is the test statistic that we will use?
T.
You're going to use a t-test. Why are you going to use a t-test?
Because the standard deviation is known.
Because the standard deviation is known. So you're going to use t-test. So we can check this off. Now, formulate the decision rule.
Reject the null hypothesis when the computed T is greater than 1.363.
Reject the null hypothesis when
The computed T is greater than
computed T is greater than
1.363.
1.363. Where are you getting this 1.363?
From the T value on the appendix B5.
So from your appendix, T value. All right. Step 5, make a decision.
Yeah, let's see.
So this is where we're going to test.
Yeah, it says compute the value of the test.
Okay. So under here where we say make a decision, we'll say this is where we are going to compute.
Okay.
So how do you compute?
I have T equals 407 minus 12, which is the mean minus the test number.
So T is equal to
407 minus 12.
407 minus what?
12. The sample number of observations.
Okay, let's go back and look at our. I'm going to say we probably want to go back and review this step as well.
Okay. Step 5.
Step 4.
Step 4. All right. Step 4. Small detailed test.
Okay. So we want to go back and review steps 4 and 5.
Okay.
What you had put in, you're assuming a one-tailed test.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is reading, or null hypothesis is that the mean is equal to. So again, if we are right here,
Okay.
if it is not equal, it can be on either side. Remember, in the problems when we're looking at terms such as the mean is greater than 400,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been a one-sided test because I would have been to the right of the mean.
Okay.
Less than 400, I would be to the left
Okay.
of the mean. But whenever you see and are asked to interpret equal or not equal,
Mm-hmm.
remember, it can be on either side. So you want to apply a two-sided
Okay.
test. Okay, so using a two-sided test at the 0.01 level of significance, we are going to reject the null hypothesis when the computed T is greater than
3.106.
3.106. Now, step 5. We are going to make a decision. So here we are going to compute.
Okay.
So now, how are you solving?
So I had
So the T is going to equal 407, the
Minus-
sample mean, subtract
the sample size, which is 12. Okay.
So we're going to take 407 minus 400. What are we gonna divide this by?
6,
Divided by
the square root of 12.
square root of our sample size, which is 12. Well, let's solve this real quick.
So that'd be 7 over 1.73.
Let's compute it out. So 107.
Yeah, 407 minus 407 over,
6 divided by the square root of 12
and the square root of 12 is 3.464.
is equal to 5.04. So step 6 says interpret the results. So how are we going to interpret?
You're going to look at what your hypothesis was.
We'll look at our decision rule. So we're going to reject the null hypothesis when the computed t was greater than 3.106.
Right.
We just computed t to be 5.04.
So it's greater, so you reject the null.
So we are going to reject the null hypothesis,
Mm-hmm.
and you would accept the alternate hypothesis.
Yep.
And again, we are rejecting the null hypothesis, so we are saying that the mean, we're not proving anything, remember, we are just saying that the mean, the population mean is not equal to 400. Null hypothesis was it's equal.
Okay.
We didn't prove anything to be true, we only tested and concluded that the null hypothesis was incorrect.
Right.
Therefore, we accept
Okay.
the alternate hypothesis. All right, correction. So when we compute, we get 4.042,
0.42. Yeah.
which is still greater than our test.
Right.
So we still are going to reject.
Okay. All right, so then I'm going to go back and redo the